Sassy, Sexy, Safe TV. Thank you again for joining me here this week for another Around the Couch session here. I brought my sister here, Quintasia, my baby sister, who's going to be joining us here as we talk. I'm so excited to get her. I've been trying to get her over here forever. But we're going to be talking about her fitness journey, a few other things in between, but it's going to be fun. So we'll see how it goes later. Alright, so explain to everyone just a little bit who you are, what you do, where they can find you, all those fun things.
Okay, so hi, I'm Quintasia, Quinn, Q-Tasia. Depending on how you know me is determines the nickname. But I am the creator of Q-Doll Wellness, which is a fitness brand that is dedicated to women and us really using fitness as a tool to embrace our femininity and not just, I know a lot of times we try to avoid muscles, but muscles and being strong is beautiful. So I try to.
Muscle's not a bad name.
Yeah, so with this brand, I really want to help women find their confidence and find their beauty with fitness as a tool.
So when would you say you started your fitness journey? I know I was with you a little bit, of course, through, or actually all of it and everything. But for those who don't know, when did you roughly start?
I feel like I started
jumping in, like, okay, I'm gonna do this.
I think seriously, because we like always been kind of athletic, like with cheerleading or track and dancing. So we've always been active. We never were the kids to be in the house.
We were never like.
And I think we were like the last generation of kids who didn't have like technology.
Yeah, that's true.
So we had to be outside playing. So we were always athletic. Yeah, so we were always athletic in that sense. But I feel like I thought weight training was like that's you look like a man kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I was avoiding to like, I don't want to do all this running, working out because I don't want to be skinny. So like we're kind of in the middle because like I feel like culturally you don't want to be skinny and you don't want to be fat either. Like no one wants to be like out, unhealthy.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like okay, well I was active in that sense, but I would say seriously with weight training probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
Because I started training with Dad. So because everyone hates training with Dad because he takes forever, but then I was like, oh, I actually like this. So that's because it kind of shows, you can train, you can lift weights and not look like a man because there's a lot more that goes into your body than just okay, I lift
I'm lifting, okay, I feel good now.
Like there's so many body types when it comes to fitness, and so you just have to manipulate it to make your goals. So I would say probably like 5 years.
I think that's probably where a lot of the problems lie, because I'm not a fitness guru or anything like that, but I like at least moving, so I don't feel like, okay, I just did nothing and I feel like
I think I always tell people like my version of fitness, I like that old school, and I feel like that's why I like Dad's style. I like
old school fitness, like let's go.
Yeah, like that
let's
old
do
school,
this.
Like Arnold and Lee Haney and all those guys are in the gym and they play rock and roll and there's no AC and it's just metal weights and clank clank. I like that.
Yes.
But then I tell people at the same time, some people hate that, and I'm like, everyone
they avoid the gym like it's just
everyone
too much.
has their version of fitness, and so I just like find what fits you.
Because the gym can feel intimidating for a lot of people. So I want to jump into as well. I wanted to ask somebody about this so bad, so I'm happy you're here in regards to it. So of course, with your career, your field that you're in, you're obviously out showing more of your body than maybe some people might like. And I know for Christians, especially Christian women, there is such a pressure to make sure you're not doing too much of this or too little of that, and those things that we kind of battle going back and forth, but it can be hard sometimes for women. How do I embrace my womanhood as well as my salvation? Okay, but I have this career where, fitness, especially, you're showing more of your body than people are used to, and there are those Christians like, you shouldn't do that, and like, how do you feel in regards to things like that? Is that something you ever think about, or you just don't care, or you're just like, this is my job, it's not that big of a deal, you know what I mean?
I don't care. Because I feel like Christianity, I think people act like it is a profession rather than a lifestyle. Meaning like you can turn it, like when you go to work, okay, I'm in work mode, and then you go home, you're not in work mode.
Yeah.
And like I think people treat your faith like that. Like okay, when I go to church, I'm in faith mode, and then when I go home, I'm in chill mode. Like no, you just are. Like as easy as it is to be a woman or be black woman or whatever you want to, like whatever you identify as. Like I don't go out being like, hey, remember, I'm a woman. I just are. Like, so I don't have to be like like, hey, remember, I'm a Christian, so I think
Still a Christian too.
I think like you do have to like have certain boundaries, and I think that's with any non-faith-based career. I guess I mean, for people, so I'm pretty sure there's temptation in faith careers, but it's not as blatant in other fields. So like I know for me, so with fitness modeling, there's the girl who's on a car. Okay, so
Clearly I'm not on.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, maybe I'm not going to do that because what does that have to do with fitness?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do a super suggestive picture where it's like you're looking at my body in a seductive kind of way rather than, okay, let's appreciate your physique. And I think there's two different ways. Like, there's a fine line. Obviously, you want to be sexy, and that's fine. But like, okay, just have your boundary of, okay, I'm not going to do that. Because people will ask you, and because someone else has done it, so of course they're going to ask you. Like, I know. Yeah, or just don't.
Just say no.
Yeah. And you just have to know what your boundaries are. Like, okay, well, that's not for me, but I don't.
I know you don't care, but again, it can be hard for women because we have this pressure that's put on us from so many different things and so many different angles. So our minds are like, okay, don't do this. Okay, we can do that. Look how much of this I do. So it's like, okay, don't do.
I don't know. I think people like put pressure on themselves. Like, no one can make you do something you don't want to do. Because I feel like...
Yeah, but for that person that doesn't...
Yeah, that's why you have to have self-esteem and personal, like...
Like, I'm one for, like, if you're feeling like that, because we've all had our low self-esteem moments, like, oh, I just hate everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like get yourself around a good group of women that are going to encourage you, that you feel like, okay, like-minded persons, and that really does, it really does help. It really does. So you don't feel by yourself if you need someone to talk to. Okay, you have the sounding board, and, and those things. So having that fellowship, having those friends, it really does help.
Yeah, I feel like whatever category you're in life, there's always a low self-esteem stereotype that goes to it. So you just have to like overcome
all the crap that you hear.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, because whatever you are, because if you're tall, then everyone says I'm tall. If you're short, everyone makes fun of me because I'm short. If you're dark, everyone makes fun of me because you're dark. Oh, no, I don't fit it because I'm too light. Like, there's always going to be something, and I think if you don't recognize that, then you're not a human. So obviously we have those moments. I think that those moments come to show, like, how do you persevere when you have those instances.
Like, now how are you going to handle this?
Yeah, because that experience...
They're going to come.
Yeah, that experience isn't necessarily there to make you feel bad. That experience is there to, like, you take that lesson, then you can help the next person and grow from it. Because we all have to go through it, and then we help the next person along the way. Like, hey, I went through that, but I persevere. Like, for me...
I want to grow together.
Yeah, like...
that person. Like, let's grow together. Let's figure it out. Let's talk. Let's whatever. I'm that person now. I've learned I need to talk to somebody.
Yeah, like you gotta talk
to
you. And then how you're saying with like-minded people, because if you have like-minded friends, okay, they might be experiencing the same thing and they might handle it differently. Like how did you handle that kind of thing? So I think another thing that I really appreciate with competing is like you meet other girls who are in the industry. So now it's like, okay, now I can connect with you because not every person can understand you not eating. Or they're like, that's so stupid. Or like, cause I understand like if it's not someone's lifestyle, I'm totally cool. Like everyone has their own journey. But when it turns into like, I don't know how you do that's crazy. Yeah, now you're negative, and now I don't want to be around you.
Yeah, now it's turning into you just kind of killed my vibe,
Yeah, so I
parts of my mellow, like, okay.
Yeah.
No one asked you for that, but okay.
So I think having like-minded people is really important. I don't know if I went around your question, but
no, I think
coming back to it.
You answered it. no, you answered it. You're fine.
Yeah, so I'm understanding like my body is my job, and healing physique is important. Same way, like if you do hair, your hair is your job. So I think you have to just like, okay, for me, I just ask myself, okay, is this benefiting fitness in my message? If I do this, because someone's message may not be, okay, I want to be an advocate for women. It might be, hey, I just want to look cute. And if that's your thing, then okay, go take that picture. Yeah, but if that's not my message, then if it's not fitting in as I like to say my brand as a whole, then why do it?
That is true. I mean, not everybody's career is going to be like necessarily a ministry per se. And I feel like sometimes that's what happens. Like, okay, if you're a Christian, you must be within this type of ministry with what the career that you're doing, but that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, because it's a lot of pressure sometimes. And I'm just like, we act like there's no balance in life. Like we're here to show just being what being a Christian is, just an everyday life. Not okay. I have my Christian hat on today. Now I'm gonna do this.
Take some.
Yeah, like if you're doing something because you think it's gonna make you look more like a Christian, you probably shouldn't be doing it
Anyway, I always say embrace the diversity that's within God's kingdom. We can't nitpick and point out what someone's doing or not doing. Now, there's a difference between you're clearly another believer Christian clearly being off the rail and you're like, that seems a little too far off.
Then they're
That is true. I'm like, as long as you're following God's commandments, as long as you're following his what he said and doing it for his glory, you're good to go. And just as you said, if you're probably so far off the rails, you're probably really truly not a believer.
Yeah,
God's really looking at your heart.
Yeah, if you don't, I guess I should say, if you don't feel bad about it, because we all do crazy stuff, you know. Humans. But if you're just like, I don't care. Okay, well then you're wrong.
YOLO.
A Christian. Yeah. And then for me, I'm just really happy because it's like how you're saying we all have our different avenues with things. Because hey, there's gotta be somebody to be like, hey,
there's Christian companies that are plumbing, there's Christian companies that are fitness, there's Christian companies that have chiropractors, there's Christian companies with like everything under the sun.
It's like I understand that you guys want to eat fried chicken after church, but someone's gonna be like, hey, let's have the healthier option here. Our body's a temple, and we always use that just for sex. No, you be eating some bad stuff,
And then your cholesterol's high.
and yeah, we'd be like, oh Lord,
you know, that
the
really
Lord's gonna
affects
see me
you.
through. No, you let diabetes.
That could be a way of the Lord being like, you might want to
You
fix
don't
this.
sit down somewhere. Bring some things around. I understand everyone has their own journey. Now I'll say balance because I have a nice cheat meal every now and then, obviously when you're like off season and stuff. But hey, you gotta go to the person who's on track to inspire you, just like I go to somebody who's
Yeah, I go to her. I don't go to me.
for certain things like, hey,
Look, I'm
you're
trying
on
to
track
get
with that. Yeah. So it all fits together and it shows like and a lot of times people lack confidence because you don't like the skin you're in. And I feel like fitness is a great way to like the skin you're in. You feel strong, powerful. Like I feel the most confident when I'm throwing up some heavy weight. Because I feel like I feel like
I'm
super sexy when
I'm super freaking.
like I like having arms. I like someone to be like, oh, do you work out? Like,
Yeah,
I want to look like this skinny.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing too. I actually hate running, where I run literally almost every day, but I actually hate running. But what I like about it is having that endurance and being like, okay, I'm gonna go one more, I'm gonna feel like but I'm gonna go one more. I can't do it. So I always feel more like alive after I run because I'm like, all right, I endured, I pushed through, I had a longer time than I did before, you know, or whatever that may be. And then the zombie apocalypse comes, I need to run like a lot. I know I can run. So yeah, it's true.
I was listening to Eric Thomas.
I know, Eric Thomas.
He was like, I'm well aware cheese puffs taste better than broccoli. And it's so true. Like, 'cause it does. Like, I'm well aware that
cheese
pizza
on broccoli
is
tastes even better.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm so aware that pizza is gonna be so much better than the grilled chicken. But we're adults, not enough to know right and wrong. So it's like, hey, at some certain point, health
Get together.
has to outweigh taste.
But tell me, Tasia, one more time where they can find you, your website, all those
Yes.
things. Where they can
The website is qwellness.com. So for your online coaching, for my downloadable programs, go there. See you in cyberspace.
All right, thanks again, Tay. But thank you, ladies, again for joining me. Let's embrace our womanhood, our salvation. Know that God's kingdom is diverse and full of so many interesting careers, so many interesting people. It's all for His glory. Let's not bash each other. Let's come together and grow together. But I love you, ladies. I will talk to you next week. Bye. Hey, ladies, if you have liked this video or any of our other videos, go ahead and subscribe here to Sassy TV. We're here every second Tuesday in the month and now every Wednesdays with just some thoughts. So don't forget to subscribe here, ladies, to our Sassy TV